What's going on? I'm Watsky, and you are watching AMBY.
Hey everyone, it's Alicia from AMBY, and I would like to welcome you to our interview with Watsky. Hello.
Yo, thanks
How
for
are
having
ya?
me. I'm great.
Just want to say welcome to the site. Welcome back to Toronto.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. We appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Of course.
So I want to kick things off by diving right into Times Infinity. New record release. How's it feel to finally have it out? It's been out for a couple of months.
Really good, because this is the longest gap between projects that I've had in a long time. So, yeah, I was a little bit anxious about how people would feel about it, because it's different than my previous records in a lot of ways. And I got a good response on it, and finding a lot of people on tour who know the material already. So I'm really excited about it.
Well, one track I'm really digging, especially the video for it, is Midnight Heart. 'Cause when you're in the
Thanks.
ring for that video, you were just so in the zone. So what's it like putting that whole thing together?
Well, that video was directed by a guy named Carlos Lopez Estrada, who's he's really awesome. He's one of my favorite music video directors, and he's done a lot of stuff for a band called Clipping. And I found him just through liking his videos, and so reached out to him, and he connected enough with my stuff to want to do a series of 3 videos. And it was a lot of work doing Midnight Heart, because it's a choreographed boxing video. And I mean, I had to learn it basically like a dance. Every jab, every feint was on beat and was in response to the other boxer who was actually a trained dancer. So,
Okay.
And the last verse of it was a one take, so we needed to nail it basically all the way through. And I'm not a dancer, so I put a lot of pressure on myself to get it right. And there's little moments I see watching the video where I think I didn't nail that move really, but in terms of the overall vibe of it, I was really happy with it. And it was really long hours shooting it, but yeah, I'm happy with how it came out.
And now How to Ruin Everything is also out. You're just doing a bunch of stuff at once. At first I thought it was just going to be one release, then you just kind of gave fans an extra surprise. So congrats on how well that's doing across
you.
all platforms. Are you surprised or were you shocked initially about everyone's response to this essay collection?
I was really just happy people were open to it, because I hadn't announced my album at that point yet, and that was intentional, because I didn't want people to be looking forward to the album and looking past the essay collection, because I put so much work into it. And my goal's always been to be a writer who's working on different platforms, and not just to be a musician who has like a little passion project on the side. And so I wanted people to know how seriously I took the writing of it, and the fact that my fans, a lot of them at least, were willing to pick up the book and give it a chance. They bring it to shows and show me that they bought it. You know, like, that means a lot to me, and shows me that this idea of trying to be on multiple platforms isn't crazy. That I can keep taking those risks and put out poetry collections and do different types of work, and that at least the core fans of mine will follow me into that stuff if it's good.
Before this tour, you drove your car across America and ended up giving it away in the end. So I loved watching that video. It was such a cool behind the scenes. Where did you come up with that crazy idea?
Well, I had this Subaru Outback, this 2004 hatchback car that I've been driving for years, and it sort of started ending up in my videos as a joke, just to show people, you know, this is my life, this is the car I drive, I want to give you a window into what my real life is like. And I drove it as my real car until I gave it away 6 months ago, and I never liked that car. I just had it. I never really bonded with it the way I did with the Volvo station wagon I had before that. So it was practical. I never wanted to spend the money that I made on a new car, because I always had better things to spend it on, like music videos or stuff that actually related to my art. So I kept driving it and sort of not really loving it. And I've been on the road for a long time, so it was just getting lent to a succession of people. And one of my old DJs, racked up like $600 of parking tickets when I lent it to him. So I started thinking, like, really, this car is not, I don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
What's the best way to give it away? Well, the Blue Book value of it's not really that high, but it's got sentimental value for people who follow my stuff. So why not give it away to a fan? And just did a raffle connected to my album, and I knew I was going to do this like last hurrah road trip in the car. And I was really lucky that the person who won it was so far from LA. They were in Ithaca, so I had to drive it like 3,200 miles to them across the country, which was great. It gave an epicness to the trip, but if they'd been in San Diego or something, and it
kind
had
of
been,
defeats the purpose.
it would
almost.
have been a little bit anticlimactic, I think. So I was really glad this woman Sarah, who won it, who's a grad student at Ithaca, didn't have a car and was a super nice person. So it just worked out really
That's
well.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, something I loved that you also have is your Twitter description here is to read good and learn to do other stuff good too, which is obviously a little nod to Zoolander.
Shout out Zoolander.
Yes, I'm assuming you're a fan of the film.
I'm such a fan of the film that I went to see the second Zoolander on its premiere night in Brooklyn, New York with 3 of my friends, and we dressed up as characters from the new movie. And I dressed up as Hansel, and I had a razor scooter that I scooted into the movie on, and I had a blonde wig, and my
that's
friend
great.
was Mugatu, and my other friend was the Zoolander character, and another friend played actually Koosh, our bass player, played the Penelope Cruz character in a red bodysuit. And we went, and we were really stoked when we got there because we saw this huge line of people, and we're like, oh my god, so many people are stoked for the new Zoolander movie. But it just happened to be premiering on the same night as Deadpool, so the line we saw was the Deadpool line. And then we got into the Zoolander theater, and there were like 12 other people there, and 8 of them were actually, it premiered probably not coincidentally the same week as New York Fashion Week. So we were sitting in front of a row of models who were there because they're like, no one makes movies about models, let's go see it. And so
While
there's
you're
these
all dressed as
German supermodels, and we're dressed as the Zoolander characters in back of them. And then we saw the movie, and I had some psychedelics before the movie, and I was just, as the movie went on, it was so bad, and I was having this terrible trip because I was like, this movie fucking sucks. I'm so sad because I wanted it to be so good.
Me too.
And it was so bad, and I was just having a gnarly trip. And then as after the movie ended, one of the German supermodels got up and he looked at us and he was like, well, that wasn't so bad, was it? And I got out of the theater and I threw my wig off, collected my razor scooter from the popcorn stand. I felt bad because I knew Ben Stiller worked so hard on it, and I wanted it to be good. I thought the best part of the movie was this guy, God, what's his name? He's on SNL now, but he plays this character, Don Atari, who's this like super hipster fashion icon who just can't decide whether he hates something or loves it. He was really funny. Kristen Wiig was pretty funny too, but yeah, it was a bad movie. Rest in peace, Zoolander franchise. First one was amazing though.
The first one it's a classic. It's a great film.
Yeah.
What's a film that you can watch over and over that isn't Zoolander?
Let me think. I love Pan's Labyrinth. I love Children of Men. Those are probably 2 of my favorite movies. In terms of comedies, Anchorman's got pretty high replay value for me. Yeah, I mean, I always point to Pan's Labyrinth as my favorite movie of all time. I love magical realism, and it's just a movie that is so creative, and really it transports me. Yeah.
Nice. It's one of my favorites as well.
Dope.
Well, just to wrap everything up, I want to end things on the fans. Anything you want to say to all of them who'll be viewing?
Thanks for listening. If you don't like a song that I do, just wait a week. I'll put out something different. That's what my stuff is always like. So, yeah, thanks for listening. If you come to a show, it's a totally different experience of ours, and have a great one. Peace.
Awesome. I just want to say thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for talking to me.
My pleasure. And remember, to everybody viewing, you can visit us at musicblogger.com for all exclusive interviews, features, videos, and so much more with your favorite artists. See you next time.